This project is important. We are reducing hunger in our community.
We are putting meals on tables.
Good morning. My name is Michaela Woods, and this project is important because it addresses the food insecurity problem in our Phoebus community.
I'm Caitlin Smith, and this project is important because it allows us to collaborate with community partners.
I'm Navalia Parker. This project is important because it builds on the work of previous classes and it will allow us to continue and grow into the future.
And I'm Renee Orange. This project is important because it means I can make a real difference for families in our community experiencing food insecurity.
We represent the Academy of Hospitality and Tourism in Phoebus High School.
And together we are Team Spark.
Spark, a simple beginning.
But our Spark is more than just a simple beginning. It is sustainable,
Practical,
Achievable,
Responsive,
and most of all, kind. I'm going to hand you an abstract that summarizes our project story over time.
Thank you.
2 years ago, our Spark was ignited by students in this class. They identified and defined a serious problem in our community. We live in a food desert.
they articulated the problem effectively and made a video to generate awareness and support.
We'd like to share that video with you because although they have now graduated, the problem persists and their influence endures.
And this is food desert. It's been a food desert for a while. Obviously, people like in poverty and stuff been needing food for a while. I needed food a lot of times. I'm still kind of like, always go grocery shopping on the first of the month. Can't go grocery shopping the other time of the month.
In my own household, we kind of base what we eat on a day-to-day. It's, what can we afford today, or, do we save like the money we have today so we have enough to get dinner tomorrow.
As a person in the community, I know what it's like for my parents to skip meals for me, and I feel like that should not happen at all. People shouldn't have to go through that.
Just leaving the house and going to the grocery store and seeing like we're not the only family who's like picking through the wallet to like make sure we have enough money to pay for the groceries and to like not have things need to be like unscanned. But that's kind of been my whole life with me and my siblings and my mom.
Like, I know like people ask like for help and like won't get it from like, I don't know, the town or just other people they know. A lot of people need help. A lot of people will have their hand out and ask for help but won't, get nothing. And it's hard.
Something needs to seriously be done, and people need to eat. It's real. Like, I know people be hungry. I know I'm hungry a lot. So, yeah.
It was hard doing it with my brother and sister, sitting on the bed and, wondering, what are we gonna eat tonight? What are we gonna eat tonight? I feel like nobody should have to go through that.
Here's a summary of research they found based on the 2020 census data for the Census Data Neighborhood, the USDA, the Virginia Department of Human Services, and local authorities in our community.
Last year, students in this class explored options for reducing hunger and increasing access to food.
We found that there's plenty of food out there, but much of it is going to waste. The challenge is getting the food into the homes and onto the tables of those families.
By producing their video and sharing their research, 2 years ago, students were able to generate interest in community partners.
Dave Rogers at the Salvation Army heard about our project and reached out to us to join Phoebus students. He worked with the VA, got a food truck, and we were able to build and serve 300 meals for unhoused vets.
This certainly was a great concept towards reducing hunger, but the food truck concept was not sustainable or practical. And last year's efforts did not address the problem of putting food on tables to families with children.
Fortunately, we have another community partner interested in helping us accessing and delivering meals to families with children. John Amos, a deacon at Zion Baptist Church, introduced us to Pastor King.
Pastor King committed his entire team of deacons, which is headed by Deacon Reed, to commit to getting us ingredients from the food bank for us to use to build meals. They also committed to delivering those meals to the homes of families with children.
Meanwhile, as a class, we worked on generating ideas for meals that could be easily built, stored, and frozen before delivery week. We also got feedback from staff, students, and administrators at Phoebus to refine and improve our recipe.
Now the problem became how to identify who needs food and where they live. We need to get the word out to find families interested in participating in our project.
Michelle Barnes, who manages the Hampton Roads Housing and Redevelopment Authority, enlisted her housing managers to get the word out to families.
On February 21st, we delivered 120 meals to participating families with the help of our Zion Baptist partners.
Feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. We made some simple changes to accommodate families who do not own a full-size oven, and we are also currently freezing 300 meals.
Zion deacons will deliver them next week.
Here is a copy of our project timeline. As you can see, we fully haven't satisfied our ambition. We are projecting completion and distribution to find families and make 600 meals in May.
So we will continue to work on our projects. We will build more meals and diversify our delivery strategy.
Have you ever heard the saying, it takes more than a village? Here's a list of all the people that contribute to our project.
We have ignited a spark. Our project is sustainable. We built on the work from previous students, and we will work with next year's 10th graders as coaches and guides to continue on our project.
We are practical. We know we can't tackle this whole enormous problem, but our project is making a difference.
We are achievable. We will use the skills and knowledge gained in our classes to make sure our goals are reasonable and achievable.
We are responsive. By pacing ourselves and using feedback from community partners, peers, and families, we can ensure continuous improvement.
And our project brings the missing ingredient: energy, passion, and above all,
Kindness.
However, our project is far from over. So, here is our mission statement. Phoebus students working with community partners to reduce hunger. In short,
We are putting meals on tables. Thank you for listening to our presentation. We hope you're inspired to join us here at Phoebus as we continue on.
Thank you so much, team. You all did great. Judges, you may now begin your 3-minute question and answer session.
Okay, so I got 2 questions for you guys. Sorry, but food is my thing. So one of my things is that I wanted to know that what you guys are doing. Do you consider, when thinking about the meals and things that you're giving out to the families, do you consider the health and the nutritionist part of the meal? And also, what about those families? I feel like I may have posed this before, but what about the families that have cultural and alternative ways to eating? Like some families that may be in that food desert, based on their beliefs, have to eat certain things. How are you guys going to implement that to cater to those families that's living in that food desert? As well, I live in the Phoebus area. I'm vegan. My kids are vegetarian. So we don't eat meat. So how are you going to implement things for the community as a whole that may have alternative eating habits, in other words?
So for the cultural beliefs, our food does not contain pork. We don't use pork, we use chicken for this current dish we're using. And what was your other question?
So what about like cultural beliefs? I see no pork, that's one culture, some cultures eat no meat. So what about like a person like myself? If I live in Phoebus, what alternative would I have as a vegan and my children be a vegetarian and we eat no meat? If we are in need of a meal or things, have you thought about implementing other alternatives for people to be able to take advantage of it?
Okay, so we have thought about it and we are planning to do it. We, like as we said, we are going to work with next year's 10th graders to build more meals so more people can have like a couple of options they can choose from before we build the meals for next year.
Awesome. And just a tidbit on that, I see the partners that you guys work with. I would recommend that y'all start using y'all small businesses in Phoebus, because I'm a small business in Phoebus, and I deal in nutrition. And you guys come to me, I could be a resource along with other chefs and businesses there that could be a resource to y'all to help y'all out with planning meals and getting them out to the community, okay? All right.
And I know it's always going to be a clarifying question, but I think it's really, hunger is a hard thing to tackle because it can be so big, right? I think what's working in favor is that it is specific to Phoebus, right? Phoebus area. And I just, for the second, kind of what my fellow judge just said, is that when you're working with small areas or specific areas to tap into those resources in those specific areas, people have bought into that because they typically are from those specific areas as well. And so to tackle a hard problem, who says something about it takes a village? Absolutely. Use your village, so good job.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening.